Welcome to another episode, everyone. Now, listen, this is a wild story. You have to keep up and pay attention. This is crazy. Two twin brothers from Fort Worth, Texas, were just arrested for two different murders. Now, one of the victims' name is Isaiah Gonzalez. Isaiah Gonzalez was accused of having robbed these two twin brothers a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And not only did he rob the twin brothers, he stripped them naked during the robbery. Not only did he strip the brothers naked during the robbery, he also took video of it. We know this because when he was just unalived in the parking lot of his workplace, he was leaving from work, about to show you now. And he was ambushed and unalived, brutally so. When this happened, the police took his phone and went through his phone, the victim who lost his life. And on his phone, the police seen footage, video footage, or at least pictures, but I believe it was video footage of these two twin brothers naked being robbed. So the dude done robbed them some years ago again and took video footage of this. Twin brothers apparently lied in wait. Now, we know that it was the twin brothers, according to the reports, because the police did face recognition on the video to see and prove that it was the twin brothers that was victimized, humiliated on that video. And it was them. It was determined to had been them, thus providing a motive for this deadly shooting that transpired on November 15th. Also, someone else lost their life. And the two twin brothers are accused of this as well. A young man, 19 years old, by the name of Debbie Reynolds or something like that. I believe we're about to find out. A young brother, 19 years old. He was found unalived. He was found murdered a few feet away or something from a vehicle. The vehicle is registered to the twins' mother. Come to find out, the young man, 19 years old, who lost his life, he had on a ski mask and gloves at the time. Sources say, the police indicate that he was there breaking into cars along with others. And one of the cars that he had broken into was this white car that belonged to the twins' mother. There in Texas, you have to understand the laws. They have different laws there than they do, every state has their own laws. And there in Texas, the law says that you can't protect your vehicle in the same way that you protect your person, meaning that essentially you can use deadly force if someone is breaking into your vehicle. This is what the law says. And at the end of the day, we all have to be careful about what we do and how we do it. I'm not justifying anything in anybody's death. But let's see what happened here. Let's get into this. Then we'll continue.
Twin brothers are in jail tonight, accused of two Fort Worth murders days apart. Court documents reveal a bizarre set of circumstances leading to the first fatal shooting. However, a witness told police the second killing was payback for a robbery a few years ago. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager has been going through the police paperwork today, and she's got more. Peyton?
Steve, and the two murder scenes 2 weeks apart and right across the street from one another. We just learned that the suspect vehicle involved was caught on surveillance video in that North Fort Worth area on both of these nights. Fort Worth police tell us that suspect vehicle was registered to the twins' mother.
Friday, Fox 4 visited Mary Aguado.
We don't really hang out outside anymore.
Again at her Garden Acres home in Fort Worth. Her fence in the same condition 1 month after a high-speed chase ended in her front yard.
I mean, you're going to go to prison for murder. There's nothing going to hold you back. I mean, he could have hurt anybody, you know, trying to get away.
The man in the Honda, 20-year-old Samuel Gabadabo. This week, Fort Worth police connected Gabadabo and his twin brother, Solomon Gabadabo, to 2 murders back in November. In the early morning hours of November 15th, 19-year-old Devin Randalls was shot and killed at a North Fort Worth apartment complex near 35W and Western Center Boulevard. Investigators believe the victim, found with a surgical mask and gloves on, was breaking into vehicles with others. 2 weeks later, and just across the street of Western Center Boulevard, an employee at Flip's Patio Grill was murdered in the parking lot. Detectives determined 20-year-old Isaiah Gonzalez finished his shift on November 30th when he was gunned down in his vehicle. Fort Worth police say it appeared to be a targeted hit. According to a newly obtained search warrant, during the investigation, police received a tip that Gonzalez robbed the brothers 4 years ago and forced the twins to undress at gunpoint. The tipster told officers they recently heard the Gabadabo brothers were responsible for Gonzalez's murder. Investigators say they found a video on Gonzalez's phone of 2 naked young men at gunpoint. Using facial recognition software, police determined the young men in the video to be the twin brothers. Then on December 12th, that's when Samuel Gabadabo was arrested for evading arrest in the Garden Acres pursuit and bonded out. At the time, Fort Worth police say they didn't have enough evidence connecting him to the 2 murders. This week, on Thursday, Fort Worth's fugitive unit found the brothers at a residence in Burleson and booked them into the Tarrant County Jail. Back at Mary Aguado's house,
They're going to come fix it probably next week, but on my dollar.
she fronted the money for a new fence, now hoping for a guardrail, but thankful her family wasn't hurt that December day.
He jumped my fence where my mom was right there.
That's very dangerous. That was very dangerous. Well, there you have it. Wow. 2 twin brothers accused of double murder, 15 days apart. One on November 15th, the other on December 30th. The one on November 15th, I believe, earlier, his name was Devin Randalls, they just said. 19-year-old had a surgical mask on, or a mask and surgical gloves. They said he was believed to have been breaking in cars and had broken into their mother's car. At least a car that was registered to their mother, the twins. And so they're accused of gunning him down, the 19-year-old, right there. They're still out, still on the street, had not been arrested at that juncture, still out to commit, allegedly, another crime, another killing. In this case, again, 20-year-old Isaiah Gonzalez, who was leaving his shift from work, heading to his car, and was ambushed by the twins. And the police, as we all just heard, received tips that this ambush was based on a robbery that transpired 4 years ago, in which Gonzalez robbed the 2 twins, stripped them naked at gunpoint. Obviously, this has been confirmed because, as you just heard, the police got a hold of the phone and found the footage. He recorded this. He recorded a robbery. He recorded these pointing a gun in these dudes' face and stripping them naked. And when you out here on these streets, man, people don't forget. Now, I'm not here to justify anything, but just understand this. People don't forget, especially a man. And you're talking about humiliating a man, stripping them naked, putting a gun in their face, and then recording it. They know that you got a phone and took pictures of this or and took video of this, of me sitting here naked and you got a gun in my face. You know, I haven't heard anything about him posting it or putting it on the internet or whatever, thankfully. I'm sure he didn't want to just out himself like that. You already out yourself enough recording this. You're recording a crime. You're recording yourself robbing someone with a weapon at gunpoint. That's a crime. I've been in prison for many years for this same sort of crime. The internet is so crazy now, you sit here and record this. Record yourself doing this. Record yourself committing a crime. Why would you do that? Committing this kind of crime right here, where you're stripping grown men, you know, and of course they stripped out. They have a gun pointed at their face, but certainly they were humiliated and felt humiliated and felt like revenge was theirs and that they would never forget that. Apparently, this robbery in which they were stripped happened 4 years ago. 4 years. The twin brothers were lying in wait that entire time. Said, okay, 4 years, 4 days, 4 months, 40 years, we gonna get you. Right when you let your guard down and think it's over, you done sat here and put a gun in our face and stripped us naked and then recorded us. Okay. Again, I'm not justifying it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. How would you react? You never really know. You can say, but you don't know until you're in that situation, till you're in that sort of situation. To someone who has humiliated you like that and you call yourself a real man, you know, who knows how you're going to take something like that, bro. And then, you know, with the other situation, 19-year-old breaking into cars, shouldn't lose your life over that. I don't believe. I've certainly done stuff like that, you know, growing up, young, wild, in the ghetto, in the catacombs and grottos of America, influenced by street culture. I've made similar mistakes. But again, you can't tell anyone how to react to a certain situation. You have actions and then you have reactions. And oftentimes, if not all of the time, we cannot control the reaction of someone. As I said before, we can only control our actions. And if that's a fact, and if that's true, and it is a fact, and it is true, then we need to control our actions beforehand so that someone don't give someone a reason to react, in which, again, we can't control the reaction. The best we can do is control the action so that there is not a certain reaction. Control ourselves first, because we can't control this person or these people or this situation once they are reacting to what we did. We can't control that. You may want to, you may say, you know, you can say in the comments, people can comment about this situation and that situation, this video and that video, and say, nah, man, shouldn't have died over that. But that's what you say. That would have been your reaction, not to kill this person over that situation, whatever that was. My reaction, man, hell no, I wouldn't have, no, he overreacted, bro. No, he shouldn't have killed him over that, man. Hell no, you know. And I'm not saying that that's not valid. I'm just saying that you can't control someone else saying, well, good for you that you would not react this way, but this is how I'm going to react. This is how I took what transpired to me. And again, you're out of control at that point. This is wild work. There you have it. I mean, two twin brothers. I mean, you know, this is all alleged. They haven't been found guilty of anything. They were just arrested, apparently. But what's for sure is that at least, you know, it doesn't sound like the police are just guessing when they say that it is indeed those two individuals on the phone that they saw on the video, on a recording or picture or whatever it was, I guess a video, of the gun to their head with them being stripped naked or having already been stripped out. Because they did the face recognition and said, no, that's them. So that certainly happened. And Isaiah Gonzalez, he certainly lost his life. That certainly happened. These are just the facts of the situation. Devin Randles lost his life, So were they just on a murderous rampage without remorse? Or do you feel like, in one of these cases they were justified, in both of these cases they were justified, they were not justified, you would not have done the same thing? I'm interested to know. Let's see what else they have to say here.
Police also say that surveillance video from Flips showed two suspects in hoodies get out of the tall grass, wait for Gonzalez and his girlfriend to get to his vehicle, and then open fire. The search warrant we obtained also talks about shoe impressions that investigators followed to the suspect's vehicle before it took off. And police say those shoe impressions matched Air Force Ones that belonged to these brothers.
Welcome back.
Lockdown 23-1 there. I ain't never did a reaction to him. Shout out to his channel, though. Well, there you have it. So they got shoe impressions. They said they were lying in wait, ambushed them. They were literally lying in wait in the bushes. Him and his girlfriend walked out. At least they didn't harm her. I'm just saying, she didn't have anything to do with it, apparently. And they just focused on him. Not saying that that's right either. I'm just saying, in some of those situations, everybody's in trouble. So, just saying, at least they didn't harm her. That wouldn't have been right. A woman and who apparently had nothing to do with it. So, but in the bushes, waiting for him to get off work. So this is premeditated. This is planned out. They found out where the dude worked at, followed him however long they've been following him, however long they had this information that he worked there. However long they've been planning this out. They knew what time he was getting off work. So they've been watching this dude. They've been watching this situation. They knew where he worked at and what time he was getting off work. And they wouldn't sit in the bushes for 10 hours. They knew what time he was getting off work. They'd been there for however long. But straight sitting in the bushes. Dude come out with his girl and they ambush him. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all just heard it all. Knock him out. Knock him down. For those pictures that he had on his phone. And then the other situation, as again, I don't know, young 19-year-old breaking into cars out there with masks on and gloves, and then lost his life. Gotta be careful out there on them streets, careful how you run the streets, man. None of this stuff is worth it. Situation where both of those situations, someone lost their life because they committed a crime, if the allegations are true, whether you feel like it's right or not. Again, I was out there committing crimes, so I'm not judging anyone. And I certainly could have lost my life. I'm just saying. That's why you got to be careful. I didn't gave it up. I'm good. You got to be careful. One breaking in the car, the other one that stuck a gun in these dudes' face and stripped him out naked. Who knows what else the hell he did in there? Once he even had them naked and recorded it and all that, who knows what he even tried to make them dudes do or what he even did to them dudes with them at gunpoint. Whatever it was something that they had never forgot, never forgiven, and said, we'll get them, we gonna get you. And they did. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not justifying it, but you got to be careful what you're doing out here on the street because people don't forget, they don't forgive, and they look for revenge, bro. They look for retribution, especially if you're talking about humiliating someone, slapping someone, spitting on someone publicly, and everybody has seen this. You're putting your life in danger. That's just the bottom line. I'm taking it how you want to take it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Wild work. Whoa. Stay safe and stay free, people.